Hello and welcome to this week's show. We arrive in 1975 to find John Wayne as Chicago cop Jim Brannigan in London, causing havoc and keeping the stunt professionals in work, which is always good to know. So there's plenty to get through. We will crack on with our first action sequence, and it looks like this. So here we are, this week's picture. Brannigan, John Wayne. And what a picture it is. Great action flick. We're going to start with looking at actor Tony Robinson throwing this into the water here.
Can you swim?
Yeah?
Go get it.
Get down!
And then getting shoved in. Look at that. I mean, that's a fair fall. That is, he's done this himself. Look, he's got hold of him and just there, and then gets to do the jump, and I would say that's probably 10, 12, maybe 15 feet at a push. He's got plenty of height. There's no protection on there. He's just wearing his jacket, his trousers, boots, his helmet, and he hits that water and he flatbacks that water. And I would say that's a fair job, but he did, in his autobiography, says he does it himself. Here's the bar brawl, and it all kicks off here. Look at this. So Attenborough throws the punch. Peter Diamond to one side. There's Peter Brayham in the far corner. He actually doubles John Wayne in just a moment, and we'll spot him here. There he is. That's Peter Brayham doubling John Wayne. Gets hit and then backs up into Nosha Powell, and Peter Diamond is the sailor. We'll try and pick out as many as whack as possible here. Oh, Nosha gets one as well. Lovely close-up. Look, kept his fag in his mouth. Steve Emerson to the left, Sid Childs in the background, Roy Scammell, George Leach. Roy Scammell is a sailor in this particular episode. As they go through screen. Here's Peter Brayham just about to get, bang, nubbled by Duke again. He pops up all over the place in this picture. Sorry. And, the pianist is in trouble right there. Tim Condren being thrown up against the piano. She's taking all the valuable stuff. Up against the jukebox. The music changes on the jukebox. And then there's look at this lot. There's everybody there. There's Billy Morgan. There's George Cooper. Georgie Leach. Here's Sid Childs picking up Roy Scammell and is going to throw him through a table. Now these pair work together again a little later on when she throws him off the balcony. Both of them very handy gymnasts, of course. And there's Terry Plummer just in front, and down he goes, gets thrown through the table, which is the breakaway. That's fallen away quite nicely into a number of bits. Over to the right of screen we will see there's Terry York with the dark hair. Just behind him is Frank Henson, plays a major part in this movie. Here's Alf Joint, who is just about to get nobbled on top of the bar. This is a scene that he really wanted to do and encouraged Peter. You can see what's going on here. Oh, and then here goes Roy. There we are, big right hook from Sid. Off he goes. There's Alan Shuntz walking through screen, one of Derek Ware's guys from Havoc. Music changes again. A whole bunch here. Look, there's Terry York, Frank Henson, Terry Plummer, Sid Childs. Must be like a dream come true, throwing punches at this lot and all having a brawl. We're getting paid for this, you know. Fantastic. He's walking through to try and find... She's getting... Oof! Sorry, my lord. Have that. Yes, it's all getting very a bit... now this is Chris Webb who threw that punch. Just behind him is Alan Shuntz, Del Baker and George Leach. So Chris Webb threw that punch and landed it on the post. Here is Frank bringing that chair across Terry's back. Terry Plummer's back. Terry York behind him, of course. And he's very versatile in this, but Pete and Frank worked very closely together. Oh, steady, steady, steady. Now here's Steve Emerson, who's getting a big left hook. Whack, have that from Sir Richard. There's Peter getting it again. Look, bang, there's another one. They're cropping up left, right and centre. Billy Horrigan in the background of that lot. Oh, now Peter Diamond. That's Peter Diamond there as the sailor, and he gets that. Look out, she says. Right, this is the moment that was the whole thing for Alf. The big punch, he wants to go along the length of the bar. There is a rope pull at the far end. It's edited so you can't see it, but he's being dragged along and falls off the end of the bar into everybody else. But that was just sort of like a throwback to his old Western days. Oh, who else is coming in here? In the background, incidentally, with the sideburns, that's George Cooper. But it's Peter again, look. Peter Brayham throwing the furniture around. And then gets, there's Frank Henson in the back. Different shirt now, Frank. And that was Terry Plummer delivering that blow on the Duke. It's getting kind of unfriendly. Now, when he leaves here, we'll see this in just a second, but tap on the shoulder. Oi! Bang! Peter Brayham again. Peter's everywhere in this fight. Look, there he is. Coming, and then Drexel comes through the window. Look at this. On the table there with the beard, that's Billy Horrigan. And next to him is Steve Emerson. And through the window, doubling him, is Terry York. Comes through the window, lands right in the middle of the table, just behind John Wayne. Everything on that table is all breakaway. And lands in a big heap on the floor. It's some heavy landing, that, isn't it? And toffee glass all over him. So John Wayne picks him up. Right, come on you. Watch what he does as he leaves. Here's Del Baker just about to smash George Leach over the head with a whiskey bottle. He grabs the whiskey bottle, takes it out of him, and then Del continues to bring what he thinks is the whiskey bottle down onto George's head or his shoulder. And he's got nothing in his hand, look, and he swings it down. And you just catch the expression on his face as... Right, he's brought it down. He's going, where's the... I had a bottle in my... Where did that go? Very nice. Now everybody comes in, and firstly we see... Here he looks up. Dear old Les Crawford. Les Crawford, of course, was Roger Moore's stunt double on The Saint and The Persuaders. And he gets one in the kisser. I only came here for the beer. There's Alan Shuntz again. Smack. Here's Billy Morgan. Billy Morgan, of course, was in Diamonds Are Forever on Her Majesty's Secret Service. For you Bond fans, you'll spot him there. Leaving, and right, Les comes in again. I'll have another go. And gets slapped. Whack! Once again. And then goes outside and gets arrested. It's a rough old life. Only wanted a drink. In the car chase, Peter Brayham now takes over. There's Peter. Coming down the stairs, doubling John Wayne. And the car chase, of course, is, well, it's the major action sequence in the picture. There's the car being driven off. If that's a new car, incidentally, you wouldn't put that bucket on top of the bonnet, would you? Is it just me? I wouldn't have done it. Right-hand drive. A couple of interesting points to look at here, and we're going to look at those. So they drive the car away. For the purpose of the exercise and the chase, Peter Brayham is driving the Jag, right, for majority of it, and Frank Henson is driving the Capri. There is a slight. We'll show you a moment when Peter's driving the Capri. But all of this action that you're seeing, this is camera fixed inside the car or on the front of the car. This is chase. A lot of this is actually real traffic. This is not organised traffic, this is real traffic, some of this. They turn in here. Now watch very closely through John Wayne's passenger window. Look, there's a wall, and they are up high because there is flats in the background. This is actually a car park roof. For all of the internal shots they're doing, and he's only turning left. He drives, turns left, drives, turns left, drives, turns left. He's only going left. He's going in one direction on top of this roof where they do the dialogue and the close-ups on John Wayne. And I only realised this recently because I discovered some footage. And this footage kind of explains an awful lot about this. They try and get all of these interiors. I now look at this chase, or particularly these internal shots with the two actors, in a very different light. Obviously, and this is the roof where they were filmed. This is the whole thing. They filmed it on top. There's John Wayne. This is back in February, I believe, or February or March of 1974. There's Peter Brayham with John Wayne going through what's what. And they did all of the close-ups on the vehicle, and they did all of the external shots on that as well. and they're obviously, because the car's going to have to slide around, I guess what they're doing is they're changing the tyres, and maybe they're taking down some of the air from the tyres, reducing it. There, in the white and blue jacket, is Mark Boyle, not credited in the picture. Maybe he was doing some ND driving. Maybe he was there as far, just, Peter had asked him to go along. They've got the masonry on the front there, the 4x2. Masonry, what I'm talking about? I'm talking about wood. The rig on the front to hold the camera position, and that's what they'll film through the windscreen into. John Wayne just carrying on as per normal, really, not a care in the world, all perfectly happy as they carry on and start adjusting, taking one wheel off and putting the other one on. And there, that's Eddie Stacy. Eddie Stacy clearly in the outfit there was doubling the actor. Of course, again, he's not credited in the picture either, or he's not. He doesn't appear to be used in the movie. These are the close-ups for John Wayne's character, because obviously I don't know who the passenger is here, but he's not wearing the costume of the passenger. But you see, they're driving along. He gets the end. He turns left, drives along a bit more, turns left, keeps doing it, and that's what they did. And this is how they created all of those internal shots. It's just the editor that put everything together and made it flow. And I think it works really, really well. But it has changed the way that I look at the car chase, because once I discovered that, I thought, that's interesting. And then there's Peter. Peter doubling John Wayne. Look, he's wearing glasses. Peter wore glasses all the time from a driving point of view. And, of course, he was obviously doing some of those shots. These are those internal shots there. That was on top of the car park. And then you got those the long shots, and those shots would have been done as well with the actor. But as they go along, now they've swapped places. So Peter Brayham is now driving that Jaguar, and Frank Henson will be driving the Capri. And this is because it's very specific driving. These two boys behind the wheel, I mean, they are fantastic. They really are. Frank Henson, such a loss. They both are to the industry. Extremely fine stunt performers and coordinators, but drivers, I mean, of the highest quality. So yeah, all of these shots, all of these interior shots, they're all done inside the car on that car park roof, and the editor just throws the sequence together. I mean, it works, there's no doubt about that. It definitely works, but not in here. And Tower Bridge. Now, Tower Bridge is very important because this is where all the trouble happened. And I'm going to try and highlight some of this along the way so we know exactly what's coming up. You see, as the car approaches, this is Peter driving the Jag, right? Very important. Peter driving the Jag. This is stunt traffic here. Goes through the barrier, right, as he comes along. And please note there, look, there is the skip. The skip is massively important. It's on the far right, and the bridge just starts to lift, and he jumps the bridge from one side of the River Thames, effectively, to the other. That's the jump there, and his car gets a real pasting too. I mean, really does. Look, there's a whole bunch of issues now with that vehicle, but goes through. No skip on the landing side, look, it's not there. And now, of course, it then goes to the bridge, raising even further. Quite right. Skip on the right-hand side, look. And the bridge is now very, very high indeed. Now, they cannot jump the bridge, logically speaking. So Frank Henson, this is an aerial shot of the bridge, drives up the bridge, slowly, but it does drive up the bridge. And drives up the bridge, and then there's a camera position inside the car, and you catch the edge of the bridge approaching, and he comes up, but he comes to a stop, right? Then they take over with the model shot. The model shot was done back at Pinewood. This is the actual car jumping on a lower level. This is ramp to ramp, or ramp to ground, on the landing side, which is still the takeoff side, so they're only one side of the bridge. There's the model shot. Was that state of the art for 1975? Maybe it was. I don't know. Nowadays, you look at it and go, it does makes you think, doesn't it? There's the landing on the other side. Look, it's very, very flat, that landing. It's a ramp to ground landing. Back to the car park again. And now he's coming down the bridge. Now this is the takeoff side, effectively. So they're only using one side of the bridge. It gets down to the bottom. There's the barrier in front, Frank driving. And there's a camera position there, obviously. And you just maybe catch it as he comes through the barrier. And you see on the right-hand side in the passenger window and goes up and lands on top of the skip. The issue came with Pete's jump. Filming television or film requires the cooperation of many departments and local authority. The film crew had permits to film one side of the river, but Pete's car jumped from one side to the other, and therefore didn't have the appropriate paperwork to support filming that side of the Thames. Because of this, Peter Brayham was arrested by the Old Bill and taken to West End Police Station and held in a cell overnight. The following morning, the duty sergeant came and let him know. "You've been bailed," he said. "Thank Christ for that," said Peter. "Who by?" Just gotten the words out of his mouth when an unmistakable voice was heard coming down the corridor. "Where the hell is my man?" boomed John Wayne as he walked up to Peter's cell. "Come on, Peter. Let's get the hell out of this place." If you're going to get bailed, you want Duke to do it.
I waited a year for delivery.
End sequence now, and everybody's getting killed. This guy goes out the window. Out he goes, and it is in fact Billy Horrigan who goes out of the window through the breakaway glass and down to the ground below. Filmed in slow motion to give it a bit of extra effect, but then it cuts away to a dummy hitting the floor, the final part, and there he goes. Ooh. And of course all the E-Type Jag work, well, that's Frank Henson. That was Frank's department, because Frank had driven E-Types for many, many years. In fact, one of the first jobs he got through Peter was on Casino Royale, driving the E-Type. Peter doubles John Wayne in that little sequence there. But throwing this car about, it's all Frank, loving every moment of it. And then, of course, this machine pistol type thing. He gets shot, loses control, and manages to drag the car around a bit. Water all over the place, lots of steam. Again, slow-mo, great music. If you're a fan of the score, it's Dominique Frontier as the composer. The score is available on CD. I do have it. It's well worth a listen to if you're a fan of film music. But all of this, you know, this is Frank loving life, throwing these things around. Absolutely superb. And the big finale. Now, of course, Frank wasn't in it when the big finale took place, but they managed to drive it up a bank which was nearby, and over it goes into the mudflats to a wet and fiery ending. Kaboom. There you go. That's it for this week. Thank you again for all of your support, and keep spreading the word. Subscribe to the podcast on the Wednesday, and we will regroup next Friday here on YouTube for more of the same, this time with Terry Leonard and John Milius as we explore the wind and the line. So you don't want to miss that. Until then, bye for now.